Hello and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen.
Boundary Lane Children's Centre students start each day with a welcome to country.
It normalises things that they're going to learn about later on in life.
The focus on reconciliation is recommended by the national curriculum that one conservative think tank has labelled dangerous.
There is no place for indoctrination in childcare. We need to let kids be kids.
The Institute of Public Affairs is concerned that the national curriculum mentions diversity, inclusion and equity 149 times and Indigenous issues 96 times, but doesn't include references to mother, father or parents.
There's actual activism in the childcare centres, and there's also concern that parents are not involved in the education of their toddlers.
One of the things that people assume is that we're talking about stolen generations or things from the past that perhaps will upset young children. The reality is we're teaching young children to accept people who are different.
The Federal Education Department says learning about reconciliation in childcare is nothing new. In a statement, a spokesperson says the curriculum has always included a respect for diversity and an understanding of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture.
We need to trust our early childhood teachers and educators to know what they're doing.
Jodie Lee, 7 News.
Do, 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 do. Anyway, we are now back at the state level. Reconciliation Victoria. You can find us in Brunswick. Reconciliation Victoria acknowledges the valuable support we receive from our funding partners, Victoria State Government Australia Department of Education. As a not-for-profit organisation, we rely on donations and partnerships to help create change and work towards a Victorian identity that reflects our true history, promotes and celebrates Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures, equity and self-determination. What is reconciliation? There are 5 dimensions of reconciliation. 1. Overcoming racism and understanding white privilege and power relations. 2. Achieving equitable outcomes in justice, health, education and employment between Aboriginal and other Victorians. 3. Developing a new statewide identity. 4. Ensuring government, corporate and community accountability. 5. Addressing historical injustices. Treaty in Victoria. Reconciliation Victoria believe treaty will be the most significant step towards self-determination ever taken in Victoria, and that treaty possibilities will strengthen reconciliation's pathways and progress. I'll have a look at that. Oh, it's 15 pages. We pause and read. Here we go. The statewide representative body, Black Parliament, elected by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in Victoria to make decisions and pass and administer laws on issues that affect First Peoples. Dedicated First Peoples seats in the Victorian Parliament, a First Peoples voice to Parliament, which can give advice and input into the Victorian Parliament on any matters that affect First Peoples oversight of the Victorian government for the benefit of First Peoples. The framework will make it clear that the minimum standards for the survival, dignity and well-being of Indigenous peoples recognised in the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Who will negotiate them? Da, 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 da. Establishment of a First Peoples controlled and managed self-determination fund. I'm up to 12. Some pictures, pink hair. Yeah, our story. Reconciliation Victoria is the statewide body promoting reconciliation across Victoria. This means that we promote deeper understanding, respect, and justice for and with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Our work focuses primarily on the 97% of Victorians who are not Aboriginal, as it is non Aboriginal people who need to take responsibility for driving reconciliation. This work is guided by local Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voices. How we support reconciliation action plans. Facilitate connections with other organisations in your sector. So how do you get your RAP organised? From Reconciliation Australia. What we do. Local government. Reconciliation Victoria sees local government as a pivotal in progressing meaningful reconciliation through its ability to work with its own local communities. Reconciliation Victoria believes that educating students about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures and our true history is fundamental to achieve long-term change and meaningful reconciliation. We provide a conduit between the education sector, teachers, parents, and students. Local reconciliation groups. I wonder if these people are members of the Greens as well. Okay, their vision. We respect First Nations knowing, being, and doing, and will embed this principle in all aspects of national policy. Set out in the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples as the foundation. So this is set up in Canada first and then spread out. Okay, key sections of the UNDRIP to form the basis of the Australian Greens action for First Nations people. Number 9, review the native title legislation to make it consistent with the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Let's do a quick brush up on land rights. The Yirrkala Bark petitions are from 1963. There's some stuff to read. In 1971, the Yolgan people again petitioned the government. Vincent Mingara, Paul Kelly wrote that song, from Little Things, Big Things Grow, about this man. Anyway, in 1966, he had Gough Whitlam come visit him. The Aboriginal Land Rights in the Northern Territory Act in 1976 has resulted in almost 50% of the Northern Territory being returned to Aboriginal peoples. In 1982, the Mabo case started. The Native Title Act was passed in 1993. So what's that? 206 years since the first fleet arrived, using the Westminster system that came on the first fleet.
A 19-year-old Northern Territory fisherman has landed a life-changing catch, winning the major prize in Australia's richest fishing competition. Keegan Payne reeled in $1 million tagged barramundi and plans to help out his mum and dad.
A single spotlight casts a dramatic glow on the tug-of-war unfolding between a young Northern Territory man and this barra. 19-year-old Keegan Payne managing to wrangle the 67-centimetre barra onto the banks, not knowing this fish would soon change his life.
You are the winner of the $1 million fish.
Yes! Maybe help Dad and Mum out with the home loans and that.
Yeah.
Well done.
$1 million, a prize many fishers had been hunting for the past 9 years.
Yeah, we were freaking out. We nearly crashed the boat. getting back to the boat ramp, but yeah, it was good.
But it may not have all been celebrations today if it weren't for the eagle-eyed eyesight of his younger sister.
We were holding it with lip grips like that, and she actually spotted it, and I didn't see it. We're as blind as bats.
They were going to take it home and eat it, but lucky I seen a red tag.
The Territory local wasting no time in purchasing his heart's desire.
Well, I'm buying a new boat, the Savo, and maybe the Savo and a new car. So.
There's been no rest for Keegan. Despite reeling in the $1 million on Sunday, he was already back out on the water yesterday. The competition for this season isn't over just yet. Almost $110,000 fish remain out in Territory waterways that can still go off until midnight tonight.
If you're out there fishing today, there could still be another winner tonight or tomorrow, announced tomorrow morning.
Georgie Dickerson, 9 News.
That looks like fun. I think I'll go fishing. Yeah. Back in a week. See you later. Bye.